All right, so if you can cool here with Vincent Pastore. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
So tell me about the Gangster Squad.
Well, I got a band called, we call it Big Pussy's Gangster Squad or Vincent Pastore's Gangster Squad, and we're at the Hard Rock tonight here in Niagara Falls on the USA side. And we got a good show we're putting together. I was brought up here by my producer, Howie Green, and I'm really looking forward to tonight. It's going to be a great show. We do a lot of rock and roll, and I got a couple of musicians from Light of Day. They came in from Canada, and they're playing with us. And I got a sax player, Kenny Blake, came in from Pittsburgh. So it's kind of like a universal sound tonight.
How'd you get it started?
Well, I was doing a Broadway show called Bullets Over Broadway, and I kind of got the idea of bringing back some of my musicians that used to play with me back in the day when I had a nightclub very similar to the Hard Rock in Rochelle, New York, called the Crazy Horse. And I got them here tonight: Joel Smith, Eddie Denise, Frankie Pisani. And I picked up T. Rogers. He plays with Gary U.S. Bonds. He's part of Light of Day. So I got 3 Light of Day guys up here tonight, and 3 guys, including myself, from New Rochelle, New York.
And how long have you been doing this for altogether? You said you started way back when...
Well, I ran nightclubs for 25 years, rock and roll clubs. So, I mean, I've always been fooling around with the musicians, but I got serious about we've been doing it about 2 years now.
Now, how do you fit it in with your schedule? I mean, I see on your IMDb you got like 14 people.
Hey, listen, if you let me go sing rock and roll 7 nights a week, I'd be a happier guy.
Ever any chance of getting a hold of Little Steven, open up for the East Street Band one day?
I don't think that's ever going to happen, brother. For me to open up for the East Street Band. What are you smoking?
I'm just saying. You got
right. I work for Little Steven, but actually I'm hosting a show for Little Steven December 19th in New York City. It's called The Policeman's Ball that Stevie puts together with Max Weinberg and Gary U.S. Bonds, and I'm going to host that, and Stevie said you can sing a couple songs with Max that night, so that should be pretty cool.
Now, watching you out there, seeing the sound check, I mean, you're completely in control. I mean, I love the way I see, you know.
Well, you know, I think it's between running the clubs and then getting into the acting. It's a combination. When you putting the show together, you know how your guys should sound, so you work with the sound man. So when we come back at 8, 9 o'clock at night, we don't sound like, you know, a bunch of cats, you know, in an alley. And you work it out, and you work out the songs, and you got to teach every time when you're on the road. You got to teach the new guys the way you do these songs. You know, I just finished reading a book Robbie Robinson wrote, you know, Testimony, and Robbie is from the other side of the bridge, and Robbie talks about they learned how to do stuff when they went on the road. It was Ronnie Hawkins and the Hawks, and they came out of Canada, and that's where they learned everything. They went down south, you know, they went into the bayou, and they learned their music, and they brought it back, and then they eventually became the band. Anyway, listen, I just want to say thank you for giving me this time. Check us out, the Gangster Squad, Big Pussy. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Peace.